Hey guys, it's Jayla. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. I am here today to do my update for the hashtag 365 days of eyeshadows. So this is my November update for leading into the month of December. I always get confused about how to say that properly. Like, is it my November update or my December update? I don't know. It feels wrong both ways. So I'm just going to say update. This month's update. How's that? So for this project, I typically like to work on between 4 and 5 palettes, one of which I choose, and then the other ones are randomized. And I've been really enjoying like having 5 to work on at a time. I feel like I'm getting a really good, like being able to rotate through them, and really I just want to use each palette twice. That's really my goal, is to use each palette twice, and then I kind of tabulate how many shadows I may have used during the month. I'm also bringing in singles, so I typically have around 15 single eyeshadows that I just have pulled in. If I can incorporate them into a look, I will. Otherwise, they just kind of sit in my magnetic palette for me to be able to use whenever I feel like I can incorporate them into a look. Okay, let me share with you the palettes that I was working on last month. So these were chosen randomly for me using the website Wheel of Names, where I have all my palettes loaded. First one is the Urban Decay Urban Spectrum Eyeshadow Palette. Next, we have the Tartiste Pro. Sorry, it's a little dirty. Next, we have the Colourpop Truly Madly Deeply Palette, which I was so excited to roll in a Colourpop palette. And this gorgeous palette, the Bobbi Brown Ultraviolet Eyeshadow Palette. Look at that packaging. And then the one that I pulled in is the Natasha Denona Leela Palette. So let me walk through these palettes. So the Urban Decay Urban Spectrum Palette, these are all shimmers. So I didn't use that many of these, to be honest. I'm actually working on this shade right here in my Pan and Every palette. So I think I used 5 or 6 shadows from here. Like I think I used this pink one, which is Backlash. I used Flashback. I definitely used Junkie. And I used like West. I think I used this one here, which is, no, I did not use Burn. I used Bordello, and I believe I used this one as well in the inner corner, Flatline. And I think that's it. So this was really just a companion palette for me last month because it's all shimmer shades. Next, I have the Tartiste Pro palette. And I did, so this one doesn't fold all the way back, but there we go. This is what this one looks like. Sorry for the reflection there. But let's see, I think I used, let me see how many shadows I used out of here. I ended up using 13 shadows out of this palette, and there are 24. So of course I wasn't able to touch all of them, but I really did enjoy the looks that I came up with this palette. The 2 looks that I did. This shade right here is fantastic. It's beautiful. The shimmer shades surprised me. I was not expecting them to be as pretty as they were. And this one in particular is just stunning. It's got that like red undertone. I love it. But I tended to focus a bit more on like the cool tone shades, like these shades here, and some of the deeper brown, like this one here, and kind of these 3. I may have even used that black. No, I didn't. Oh, and I did use this shade here a few times, I want to say. So yeah, I got some good use out of this one. I mean, it doesn't look like I went crazy ham on it, but I did use it. Next up is the Colourpop Truly Madly Deeply palette. So this had 3 glitters that I was like, I don't know if I'm going to use this. And I decided, no, I'm never going to use this on my eyes. So I took them out. But I did not toss them. I actually kept them to make Frankened nail polish, which I did. I will grab those here in a little bit. Where did I put those? I'll try to find them and show them to you. But anyway, this palette, other than those 3 glitters, was really pretty. I ended up using all but 2 of the shadows that are remaining in here. So I used quite a bit. The only shadows I did not use in here were this one here, which is Made to Last, and this one here, which is Mr. Sandman. And the reason why I didn't use Mr. Sandman is because I have MAC eyeshadow in Smoky Mauve. That's somewhat similar to this, but this is a beautiful shadow. I have this in a single as well. It's stunning. I mean, it's so pretty. I love that shade, but I've used it before. I know what the formula is like. I know the shadow, and anytime I needed an eyeshadow like that, I was going for an eyeshadow that's in a project. So anyway, this was a really, really great palette. I really did enjoy using this, except for those glitters. Let me go see if I can find my Franken polishes. Be right back. So I ended up making 5. These 2 here were just like, this was from a Sydney Grace. Yeah, this one was from a Sydney Grace glitter I received in a mystery bag. And this was just me combining 2 polishes, like a blue and a like pinky red together. So those didn't include the glitters, but these did. So this one is, I don't know which ones I used for which, but here's one of them. So this one turned out really pretty. I really do think that's gorgeous. And here's another pink one. There's another pink one. And then the last one is actually a really fun green, and I don't have anything like this. So that was really fun to make. I also had some holographic polish that I was going to declutter from Cult Nails. So, and I didn't like the way that it looked by itself, but I added some of that to these polishes as well, and I think it really added some sparkle. So yeah, so that was fun to play around with. I was like, I don't want to throw these away, like these glitters away, but let me see what I can do with them. So I ended up frankening polish. It's good to have frankened items for prompts, for projects. Anyway, that was fun. Okay, the next palette I'm going to talk about is the Bobbi Brown Ultraviolet eyeshadow palette. So it's this one here. This is gorgeous. I used every single shadow in here except for this one. And this one's just really kind of lackluster, to be honest. It's really not that exciting. It's really similar to my skin tone. As you can see, you can barely see it. But the rest of these were so pretty. I even used the black. I couldn't believe it. I used a black shadow. But yeah, like these shimmers are beautiful. Why are my cats screaming? I think I even used that white shade. But yeah, those are the 3 shimmers that I fell in love with. So pretty. And this dark purple was also, I mean, the whole thing was really pretty. It was really pretty. So yeah, this was a stunner. I will absolutely be keeping that. So the last one we have is by Natasha Denona, and it is the Leela palette. And I love this palette. Oh, it's so pretty. I ended up using 10 of these shadows. Okay, so the shades I don't think I used. I don't think I used either of these 2, which is the gold and like the coppery shade. I don't think I used this dark brown. And I may have not used this one as well. Let me see. No, I used Helio. I didn't use this shade here, only because I have Looxie Ultraviolet, and this is really similar to that in terms of the shade, the color, but this is really beautiful. Oh my gosh. These shades are just gorgeous. I love them. They're so up my alley. All right, so those are the majority of the shades in this palette, and then these are the 4 mattes at the very bottom. I love it. I love this palette so much. It was the first Natasha Denona palette that I purchased. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that is mine. So yeah, so loved using that. And I also love the fact that this palette actually looks used. You know what I mean? Like it's not panned or anything, but it looks used. So I like that. Anyway, and again, that was the palette that I chose. Let me also share with you the eyeshadow, like the single eyeshadows that I used. I used a total of 8 of the singles that I pulled, and 2 of them are in pots. So first up is from Colourpop. It is the Super Shock Shadow in Catnap. Catnap. I think I may have said catnip last month. It's Catnap. This is stunning. This is just so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. It's a metallic. And then the other one that I used is by Natasha Denona, and it is the Duochrome Top Coat in Mauve Brown Purple. I did end up repressing this because it was very, very dry. So I added some Duraline to this and was able to use it. This is, again, a topper. So it doesn't have a ton of pigment. It's really more so for using on top of the eyes. But as you can see, there's that beautiful shimmer and that brown purple shift. So pretty. I had pan in this previously, but does not look like it anymore. And the singles that I use, the first one is actually a highlighter that I use as an eyeshadow. It's by Lovelux Beauty and it's Fantasy. So this is just too icy for a highlighter for me, but it's a great inner corner highlight. I mean, it's like bam. Bam. I didn't have to use very much. And then from MAC, I have the eyeshadow in Selena. This has got some hard pan that I need to, and cat hair on it. But yeah, I need to lift up that hard pan. This was really pretty. It's one of those shadows, and MAC does this very, very, very well. Like swatching it, it does not look that exciting, but on the eyes, it's really pretty. So I did enjoy this. From Looxie Beauty, I have Banshee, and this is beautiful. Beautiful. I loved that shadow. This one surprised me. This is from Makeup Geek. It's Rapunzel. Whenever I brought this in last month, I was like, this looks like a dud of a shadow. But on the inner corner, it's beautiful. I mean, it kind of looks boring. I was really surprised that it was so gorgeous on the inner corner. I was like, okay, well, I can make that work. It'll take me forever to finish it, but I can make it work. And then I have a pressed pigment from MAC in the shade Pinked Mauve. And this, again, was, I mean, all of these were nice. These were fun to play with. I like having these as like options of shadows to play with. So pretty. And lastly, but definitely not least, by Cleona, I have Regal. Whoa. Look at that purple to blue shift. So pretty. Oh, yes. So those were the 8 shadows that I used that were singles. So we'll pull 8 new ones in addition to 4 to 5-ish palettes. So let me grab my iPad and we will see what our next palettes are. I don't even know what I'm pulling in, like my choice. I have no idea. I figured I'd wait until I see what the color story is and what I may be missing. Okay, here we go. Let's see what our 4 to 5-ish palettes are. Well, at least 3 to 4 that's randomly chosen. Oh, a Rowan eyeshadow palette in 1111. So that is a newer palette to my collection. And I think it's all creams too. Oh, I know it's all creams. That's like a quad. So Stila Eyes Are the Window palette in Spirit. Okay, I've been wanting to try those. Play around with them. Studio Makeup On The Go eyeshadow palette in Cool Down. That is an old palette. It's like a cool tone. Well, cool down. Makes sense. Okay, so that's 3. Let's do 1 or 2 more. I may do 2 more because we have 2 smaller palettes. The Kat Von D Beauty palette, or KVD Beauty, in Lolita. Okay, that's really pretty, and I've never used it. Let me just look and see what we have. Oh, I'm going to do one more. It's spun already. Nabla Soul Blooming palette. Okay, now let me go ahead and do the eyeshadows. So we need to pull 8 new singles. So here we go. Let's see what we get. The Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in Baby Cakes. The Looxie Beauty eyeshadow in Lace. Ooh, that's probably going to be really pretty. Sydney Grace matte eyeshadow in Dream. Oh, various eyeshadow purple. I'm going to have to figure out what that is. I think I may have combined, maybe a Franken. I can't remember. I don't know if I still have it. Cindy Grace matte eyeshadow in Creme Brulee. Okay, this is 6. Cleona eyeshadow in Medieval. Makeup Geek eyeshadow in Cocoa Bear. You know what? I used that earlier this year, so I'm going to take that one out and do a new one. MAC eyeshadow in Da Bling. So we need one more, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull another one for that random eyeshadow, the purple one. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it. So this next one we have is Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow in Showtime. So let me do one more, just in case I can't find that purple one. Another Cleona. Wow, this wheel really likes Cleona. In Glazier's Mark. Okay, so let me go pull the palettes, pick my palette, and then pull these eyeshadows, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Am I centered? I just inhaled some popcorn, so I had to reapply my lip. And I may have popcorn in my teeth. Sorry. Let's review the palettes that I have pulled in for the month of December. The first one is the Rowan palette, and it comes in this like pouch, velvety pouch, and it's the eyeshadow palette in 1111. So here is the packaging, and then here is what the inside looks like. So I picked this up from BoxyCharm. I think it was BoxyCharm. So, you know, some of these may be a little bit dried out, but they're cream eyeshadows. So here they are. And yeah, this one feels a little bit dry. So I may have to put like some Duraline in here to amp these back up. So those are the shadows. But they do feel a little dry, so I think I'm going to put like a drop of Duraline in each of these and just close it and see what happens. If you have other suggestions, let me know. Okay, so next up we have from Studio Makeup the On The Go eyeshadow palette in Cool Down. So it's this one here. This is an old palette from Ipsy or Boxy or something like that. But it's a really pretty color story. It's great for the winter actually. Very cool toned, and I mean these are really pretty shadows. Let me wipe mine. Okay, here we go. So these two down here seem a bit patchy, but the rest of it is really pretty. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it ends up working on the eyes, but this is a really pretty color story, which is why it's still in my collection. Okay, next up is from Stila, and it's the Eyes Are the Window Shadow Palette in Spirit. So these have long been discontinued, I think. I'm pretty sure you can't get them anymore. I could be wrong. But this is what the palette looks like on the inside. So I during my eyeshadow palette inventory video, I was like, I need to like pull these out and play with them because I don't know about the formula, and some of these seem to be really nice, and others are like meh, 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 you know. So I'll just need to apply it how I normally apply eyeshadow, and just see how they goes. See how it goes. I think there like maybe 2 mattes in here, and the rest of them are shimmers or satins. Okay, here are just a few of the shades swatched. Like the light ones seem really pretty, but then the rest of it's kind of like womp womp womp. So we'll see how it ends up looking on the eyes. And I feel like this definitely has some warm shades, but we also have some cool tone shades here. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up working out. It may be on the chopping block. Next from Kat Von D, we have, actually I think this is the KVD Beauty. Oh, this is Kat Von D here. I don't know. It's the Lolita palette. It's this one here. I was so excited whenever this came back in stock. It was like, it came out and then it went away and then it came back in stock and I snatched it up because I love this color story so much. This is all mattes and right up my alley. So pretty. This shade here. Oh my goodness. Love it. So anyway, that's the Lolita palette. Next up from Nabla, we have the Soul Blooming palette, and this packaging is so adorable. And here is what this one looks like on the inside. So a bit of more of a warm color story, but that's okay. I can play with warm as long as it's not orange. I'm good. Oh, look at this one. Look at this one and this one. Wow. So there we go. Look at the shade and then look at the shade. Holy moly. It's really pretty. This lilac shade, I don't know about that. Flowery is the shade name. It's like a blue toned lavender. It's a lavender shade, yeah. I mean, it may be okay, but well, those are a bit more challenging. So as you can see, we have plenty of eyeshadow to play with this month. So I went with something a bit small. I am pulling in another Natasha Denona palette, and it is this one here. This was a holiday palette from several years ago. It is the Holiday 02 Iris palette. And the main reason why I wanted to pull this in is because I really want to play with some of these shades, not all of them. Like, I'm not a big fan of this matte here because it's too orange toned for me. But I really want to play with like this topper, and this blue and the gold. So we'll see. The cranberry one is okay. Like the consistency of it seems to have gotten really crumbly, but those are the 4 topper shades. Oh, well, that is really pretty. I don't know if I'm gonna wear, oh my god, that blue. Oh my goodness. I mean, this blue is freaking amazing. Anyway, I bought this and I need to use it. So I want to use it. I want to try something. So I just tried it over a wet base and look at that. Oh my goodness. Wow. Those are really pretty. Really pretty. And for those of you who are interested in the like matte shade in here, I'll swatch it for you. So it's right here. That's the matte shade. It may be one of those shades that I just pop out of here and maybe declutter. I don't know. Anyway, it's a really nice matte formula. But yes, so we're bringing in the Holiday Palette in Iris. Now moving on to singles. So I somehow ended up with 16. I thought that I was only going to have 15, but I ended up with 16. So, oh, that matte shadow is a stainer. Really strong staining shadow. Oh, lordy. Yeah, so I ended up with 16 again. I don't know how I did that. The two that aren't in pots that I still have, one is from Kiko, and it is the Long Lasting Wet and Dry Use eyeshadow in the number 200. So it comes in this little bitty compact, and it's this one here. This is so pretty. Here we go. Oh, lordy. And then from NARS, I have the Dual Intensity eyeshadow in the shade Himalaya. So it comes in this. I remember Tara Babies actually depotted all of her NARS, like little singles. And I need to go back and look at that video, because it'd be nice not to have these in their, like, anyway, they're a beautiful taupe. And so what we had previously that's still remaining in here, we have Makeup Geek Starry Eyed. And this one is gorgeous. Oh, lordy. That would be a good inner corner. I don't look at it and think inner corner, but it'd be a good inner corner. From MAC, we have Swish. I've had this shade forever. It's pink. And it's pretty. Another from Makeup Geek is Prom Night. Now, this is one that I'm not sure, 100% sure about. I mean, I think it's pretty swatch, but I don't know on the eyes how it's gonna look. On my eyes, I should say. So that's Prom Night. From Colourpop, we have On the Fence. That one seems kind of meh, so it's not as shiny as that MAC one is. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up performing over a tacky base, because I always use a tacky base on my lids because of my hooded eyes. From Colourpop, we have a Ready or Yacht. This is gorgeous. We have, from Cleona, we have Translucency. This has been in here a while. I just haven't found a good time to use it. It's much more of a spring shade, to be honest. So I don't know. I'll try to find a way. Maybe I'll use it in the inner corner. Wow, that's really pretty. So now we're going into the new shadows that I just pulled. The first one is Luxie Beauty Laced. Wow. Luxie had such great shadows. We have a couple of mattes from, this one is from Sydney Grace. This is the shade Creme Brulee. Oh my God, her mattes are so buttery. So there is that shade. Creme Brulee. Could not remember it. Next up, from Anastasia Beverly Hills, I have Baby Cakes. So this may be a like primer setting shadow. This is very light. Or like brow bone highlight, or if I need to lighten up a certain area, it's very light. But it seems to be a nice formula, even though it's super light. From Sydney Grace, I have Dream. This is gorgeous. Oh my God, that's so my shade. My name written all over that. Wow. She should just call that Jaylon. Okay. From Makeup Geek, I have Showtime. Now, these types of shades I don't wear too often, and I have plenty of them. Oh my God, but that's so pretty. It's a great outer like part of the lid shade. Oh, jeez. Okay. From MAC, I have the shade Da Bling. Then this one is on, kind of think on the chopping block too. It seems kind of a satiny shade and kind of meh, but you know, I have to get it on my eyes to see. Yeah. That may be on the chopping block. And the last two are by Cleona. This one is Medieval. Oh, I didn't try to show you the shift. It's better on this side. Oh, Lordy. Oh my goodness. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Okay, and then the last shadow is also by Cleona, and it is the shade Glazier's Mark. Let's see if I can do the shift. Yeah, it goes from like a taupey purple to a pink. Wow. Oh my goodness. Now these are over like a wet base, but holy moly, look at Glazier's Mark. Wow. Okay. Oh, it's pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, this video is ridiculously long now, so I am going to stop. So I am super excited with the new eyeshadows that I'm playing with for the month of December. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you're doing well and staying safe. Please hit that subscribe button and I'll see y'all next time. Bye. I don't think I mentioned this, but I did end up using like 53 shadows during the month of November. So I'm pretty happy with that number. I thought it was pretty good. So for this project, I like to work on how many? 5. You done? Hi. Hey. Oh. Oh. The Anastasia on. And now for the palette I chose. So as you can see, we have a good amount of eyeshadow to play with. Okay, bye.